Browns training camp is here, and quarterback conversation between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders is heating up to a new level. But here's the wild part. Nobody can agree on what Shedeur can actually do to lock down that QB1 under Todd Monken. Now, welcome back to Reese Wheel Sports Talk. If you're new here, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe and tap that notification bell to let you know when I upload a video. Now, on one side, Cleveland 92.3 The Fan is telling us Shedeur doesn't need to pull off any miracles. He just needs to be steady and let Deshaun, his clock run out. But then you got four-time Pro Bowler defensive back Asante Samuel. He hops on his podcast and says, hold on. Shedeur is playing too comfortable. He needs to be urgent. He needs urgency today. He said he needs urgency today. So we're pretty much putting local media versus NFL veteran to break down this impact on Todd Monken's new offense and figure out who actually has the right playbook for Shedeur to take over in Cleveland. And let's tap in.
Welcome. All to the Reese will show you. Tap in, and then no better sports destination for you. I go hard to bring you every sports tape, from the NFL highlights to NBA fast break dunks. Yes, I'm Reese Will. Can't leave out my fine Barbie sisters hitting the 3-pointers. I share with you every sports big moments under the sun. We chop it up together. I raid your chat and we have so much fun. Whatever turning, then no clickbait vibes. I'm spitting straight facts, pushing back on all negative agendas. That's what I do, just for you on the Reese Will Show. So know this for sure. From the draft to the championship runs with me. We always win. It's time to go live and let the show.
So we got 92.3 The Fan, Spencer German and Earl the Pearl over the weekend was talking about how Shedeur can get that QB1 spot. So let's listen to this short 20-second clip and I'll give you my thoughts.
The more I've thought that Shedeur doesn't have to do anything extraordinary to me to win this job, because as you know, I don't have a lot of confidence that Deshaun is going to be this good quarterback ever again. And I don't have a lot of confidence in him being the starting quarterback for this team. And so in thinking about that and thinking about how the spring looked, where it was like Deshaun probably had more like wow throws, but for every wow throw, he then had a throw that was like in the dirt or behind a guy or picked off. And Shedeur just felt more steady throughout the spring, where it was like he might have not had all the big eye-popping throws, but he was leading the offense. He was completing the passes. He was making the plays necessary. And he had a couple bad days in there. Everybody does. But I thought about it more and more, and I'm like, I think it's less about Shedeur having to come out and do anything other than what he's done to this point in terms of like proving that he's developed, proving that he's seen things clear, you know, and executing the plays. I think it's more about what Deshaun has to do. Because
so you got Spencer German. You know, I'm going to be honest, the more and more I thought about this, you know, the more I thought that Shedeur doesn't have to do anything extraordinary for him to win this job, because as you know, I don't have a lot of confidence in Deshaun. You know, he's going, I don't know if he can be that quarterback ever again. Now, as far as we talking about looking at Spencer German and what Earl the Pearl and Spencer German is saying, you know, he hit something that a lot of Browns fans are feeling right now, being in the fan base. We built up a absolute immunity to hype. We've seen the off-season tapes. We've seen the social media clips. Deshaun throwing, deep balls, pretty nice deep balls, followed by 3 passes into the dirt or behind the receiver. We've seen all that. Now Spencer, his point was simple. Shedeur doesn't need to come out there and throw 60-yard bombs into double coverage just to make some noise. The local media, they view that as Deshaun Watson, margin for error is essentially zero. He can't really make no mistakes. That's what some of these media people is thinking. When you've been away from live game action for as long as Deshaun, we talking about over 600 days, the game speed, it hits you like a brick wall. So from the radio perspective, all Shedeur has to do is stack clean days, mistake-free practices, protect the football, execute the plays, the calls, and the sheer lack of consistency from the veteran Deshaun Watson, that would make the decision for Todd Monken to be in Shedeur's favor. Don't sleep on what Earl the Pearl said. He brought it up in the same, segment. He agreed 100% with Spencer, but he added a phrase that stuck with me pretty much when Deshaun Watson is facing the NFL mortality. Deshaun knows what time it is. He knows the Browns PR machine is posting Shedeur 24/7. Shedeur is getting clicks every 5 minutes on how Shedeur is better than Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun probably is motivated, but motivation doesn't automatically erase nearly 2 full years of missing game reps when you haven't felt a real pass rush or process, secondary at full speed. You start pressing, and when a veteran QB presses, he makes mistakes, and that's why Spencer and Earl Pearl is saying he just needs to stay the course, be that steady hand and on the steering wheel, and while the storm brews on the other side, just stand back and watch Deshaun pretty much crash and burn. Now we got Asante Samuel. He's a former NFL four-time All-Pro, and let's see what he got to say about it.
But the one area I want to see Shedeur improve is him playing with more urgency. He's a little too comfortable playing at one speed and not playing with more urgency like right now, you know what I mean? And of course, let me break down urgency for everybody, right? Urgency, of course, everybody understands he needs to make faster decisions, right? Faster decision making. That's one of the points in the urgency category, right? I want to see Shedeur play faster overall. I want to see him drop back in the pocket faster. I want to see him getting the ball to the running back with a lot more urgency. You know what I mean? I want to see him execute screens, right? Screen plays with much more tempo. That's what I mean with more urgency. Everything has to pick up speed. Overall, just him playing in position. From the time he gets the ball from the quarterback. That's what I mean by urgency. And this is how I can see Shedeur separating himself from Deshaun Watson. Because once Shedeur corrects those categories or those blemishes that's going against him, man, he's going to become a much better quarterback, right? Now, at the very least, hopefully Shedeur can play well enough during the preseason, right? And or during the regular season and boost his value as a player.
Let me bring this full screen. He's saying pretty much the one area he want to see Shedeur improve in is playing with more urgency, and he's a little more, too comfortable and playing at one speed. And I want to see him, he's basically saying he want to see him drop back in the pocket faster. He wants to see him getting the ball to the running back with a lot more urgency, executing those screens with much more tempo. Now, I don't know. Now, that is why you want to listen to guys who played at the highest level. These guys, he's a former NFL All-Pro 4 times, great corner. Asante Samuel, he isn't hating on Shedeur here. He's basically, he says he wants to see the young talent take over and bring that, that energy. But Asante played corner in the league for over a decade, and he knows defensive coordinators and DBs. He studied film. If a quarterback dropped back on at one casual pace, releases the ball at one casual pace, and handles screen passes without sharp tempo, in his mind, NFL defenses going to jump those routes all day. And to me, Asante Samuels is saying, comfortable gets you beat in the NFL. Shedeur can't just be steady. That's how I'm pitching them against each other. He can't be steady in his footwork. He has to play with rapid and crisp, aggressive tempo, pretty much from the second the ball hits his hand under center. Monken didn't come here to run a boring, slow-paced offense. He brought in 4 dynamic weapons and high tempo. He wants that high tempo offense. KC Concepcion, his ultimate, space creator on jet sweeps and quick screens. Samuels is basically saying, pick up the pace on urgency. And if he hesitates on those split screens on the mesh point, like when you actually playing it as quarterback, the defense recovers and the play pretty much is over with, or it dies out. Now you got Quinshawn Junkin out there. Monken wants to utilize Junkins as the weapon out of the backfield on wheel routes and swing passes, throwing that ball. That's what he mean by throwing the ball to the running back. And that requires the drop back to be urgent and immediate trigger. So, you got a Denzel Boston out there. He creates that separation on the boundaries, on the out routes, and he's got that height. He's got a big body. That ball has to arrive with some zip before the safety can help over the top, in the sideline. And you got Harold Fanning Jr., that third and short security blanket over the middle. Do you see what Asante is talking about? If Shedeur plays with that high level urgency, he isn't just making completions out there. He's letting these young playmakers eat in space. So when you put 92.3 The Fan on one side and Asante Samuel on the other side, who's right? To me, they're both right, but they're talking about two entirely different things in my mind. Mentally, local radio is talking about Shedeur needs to be steady and ready, stay steady, and don't play hero ball, don't play scared, and don't play to force those bad throws just to match Deshaun Watson's highlight reel. And physically, to me, Asante Samuels, his take is basically Shedeur needs to be urgent, more urgency, fast dropbacks, snappy decisions, and elite ball placement on quick game concepts. If Shedeur pairs mental steadiness with physical urgency, this quarterback competition isn't going to drag on until the final preseason game. He won't just match Deshaun. He'll leave no doubt in Todd Monken's mind who the QB1 should be. I think that's basically what I'm trying to say on this, putting these two situations together. So that's my take on it today, man. Now I want to hear from you down in the comments. Are you riding with the local radio thinking Shedeur just needs to stay steady? Or do you agree with Asante Samuel? He needs to crank up the tempo and play with more urgency. Drop your thoughts below. I reply to as many as I can. Don't forget to drop, a like button on the video, share it with another Browns fan, and subscribe to Reese Will Sports Talk. And appreciate you, and see you on the next video.